I will say this before we get started, even though we're rolling. Welcome to Tales from the Head, actually, everybody.
Hey, welcome.
But I wanted to tell you.
Wait, are we recording?
We are.
Here too? Oh,
yep.
Sure.
I wanted to tell you that I am very jealous of your healthy head of hair.
Thank you.
Because as you can clearly see, Danny's he does not have a widow's peak at all. He has a very strong cape of hair above his head. And my hair is the peninsula of shit. I'm just going to move my head down a little so everyone can see the recedingness. But I went and got my hair cut, and I was talking to the barber because, of course, I want to grow my hair out and relive my golden years.
Yeah, that's some might call it mid-year or midlife crisis, right?
A cry for help, maybe.
Sure.
Low self-esteem, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
But really, I looked at him and I said, you cut a lot of hair.
Yeah.
So what do you think
You're a hair professional.
Yeah. What do you think is the next call to action? He said, well, have you tried the treatments? I know a guy who did the Bosley thing or whatever. It's expensive, but it works.
Mm-hmm.
I said, but be honest with me. And then he's all, honestly, dude, just shave it. He's all, that's how I am. He's like, I'm big enough to be like, I'm going to be bald now. I'm just going to rock it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I respect that answer, dude, because I think I agreed before I even asked him. I was like, if I'm going bald, I'm just going to be bald.
Yeah.
But hearing it again from someone else was just kind of what I needed.
Yeah.
Because I was like, should I give up? I'm still in my 30s. Everybody, I think this is it. I'm not growing my hair out.
Okay. You came to that conclusion.
Well, it's just going to be like, when you start getting older or you start going bald, your hair stops growing as fast in certain areas.
Yeah.
And the top of my hair is meant to be a mullet because it just won't grow longer than like 4 inches.
Okay.
And the bottom and the sides and the back will just grow like lusciously. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I can't do the monk look.
No.
So
look at Ricky and Lars also. He can... I don't know. There's just we feel like we bash on Lars so many times.
No, but that's exactly what I think about. Like
that's
80s
exactly
Lars.
what he's doing, though.
Or no, but
now,
but even like 80s Lars.
Yeah,
like it just wasn't dominant up here.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was very like Lyle Lovett, and then it was like nice and luscious on the sides.
Yeah, dude.
And that's what I have.
I got lucky. I'm not gonna lie. I got lucky to have this hair. And on the L3 pod, they used to kind of make fun of me with it. Well, they wouldn't make fun of me, but they always bring it up. And I always said, like, my hair's the only thing I have going on for me. And to the point where even Daryl will call me Danny the Hair Betancourt because I was all hair. I'm proud of it about it. But same thing, dude. Like, the moment I notice that I'm going bald or something, I'm just gonna cut it short. Maybe not bold because I don't have the head for bold. Well,
and it's funny you bring that up too because I told the guy that I said, I feel like I have a well-shaped head to be bald.
You do.
So I was like, okay, I can rock it. Because some people, man, I went to school with some people, man. And they just couldn't do it.
Yeah, well,
they got the alien area Roswell kind of head going on, and I'm like, look, dude, I get it. You gotta grow something out.
For me, is my good friend Alex. I'm not going to say last names, but my good friend Alex, he had magnificent hair. His driver license, so he has long ass hair. And yeah, the moment he saw that his hairline was kind of receding, he saw that his dad, his grandparents from both sides, he's like, the moment he saw, he's like, well, this is it. And he just shaved it. And ever since he's been shaving it, and he keeps it nice and shaved, nice and tight. So
yeah,
he always inspired me. He's like, hey, it's going to happen. Might as well embrace it. Why hide it? Because then that's just more embarrassing. I'm like, you know what? You're right. But luckily, I don't have that problem yet. Knock on wood.
I don't think you will, because you would have seen it already starting to happen.
Yeah, luckily
you're just gonna eventually get gray.
Both. Oh, absolutely. I'm already getting it on the side,
but it's gonna be a nice look because it's right now it's peppered. And that's what you want.
Well, I got lucky. Also, my dad was saying, that by the time he was my age, his hair was already white. So mine is
because he was like living a hard life.
Oh,
too.
dude, absolutely
stressed out.
Second marriage.
Oh yeah, dude, for sure.
Alcoholism.
Yeah, he was living La Vida Loca, dude.
Yeah, literally, he was. But I still have problems about that time period of my life. Like, I was trying to explain this to somebody once, and the moment I was explaining, like, what I went through and what my dad put us through, like I started like I still get choked up. And actually, it's funny. On my way over here, remember a couple days ago, I shared with you that podcast. It's called Nideki. He's a great plug. So I was listening to it, and they're talking about mental health, and I'm like, oh, okay. And why is it so hard for people in the Spanish speaking community to talk about mental health? And they bring up that a lot of times we show, like with alcoholism and substance abuse, it's just like, oh, that's the problem. It's just they're the crazy one, or they're drinking, or like, oh, just go get drunk, you'll get over it. I think in our community, like that's what we saw our parents do, and it's also kind of like, oh, we have no time to do that. We have to just keep on grinding. Yeah, life sucks. You're going through shit. You feel like shit, but you gotta keep on grinding. Unfortunately, that's like the mentality for us. And they were saying that substance abuse is what really what we're our parents thought, and
right.
At the time I just thought my dad was an alcoholic. He was an alcoholic. But now that I'm older and kind of like a little bit more aware about mental health and like, going through my struggles and sharing it with my parents and admitting that, like, yeah, I'm seeking therapy, Dad, like, cause if I don't seek therapy, I'm going to do something stupid to myself,
right.
Admitting this to my parents and stuff like that. Now that I recognize and I go back, I'm like, yeah, my dad was fucking depressed. He was going through some shit, and his way he dealt with it was through alcoholism, and then he took out his frustration on my mom, unfortunately.
That's rough.
So yeah, it's really rough, dude. It sucks, and unfortunately, it's something that happens a lot, not just in my community. I'm pretty sure it happens with everybody.
Oh yeah, I don't think there's a demographic that's particular.
No, absolutely not. Yeah. But it's kind of like, yeah, you drink. I don't know. What the fuck? How the hell did we get here?
We got here because of haircuts. And then you were talking about how your dad's hair is like your hair.
My dad's hair has great hair. But in the last decade, he started to have psoriasis. No, not psoriasis. Yeah, psoriasis. So,
of the liver?
No, wrong.
Yeah, you're thinking of a hair-related problem.
No, skin-related.
Well, psoriasis is skin-related.
Psoriasis,
but
yeah,
it's just
with the
psoriasis, but not like organ psoriasis.
No, yeah. So you got like the ratchet. Yeah.
Okay.
And he has some in his.
You're like, that's not as bad as.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And he has some in his head, so because he gets treatment for it, he keeps it now short because it's just so he can reach to his itching points in his head. But
I kind of have. I have a dry scalp, so I understand.
Yeah, I kind of get it here. Apparently, my dad's like, oh yeah, I guess you can pass it down. It's a Betancourt thing. I'm like, yeah, thanks, Dad.
Oh yeah, I know.
Screw you, Dad.
There's great genetics.
Thanks, Pops.
Couldn't have been the athletic gene, huh?
Yeah, couldn't give me the hard working one instead. Like want to wake up at 6 a.m, dude. He couldn't give me that one, or like the money management skill that my dad has.
Yeah, I don't have that either.
Yeah, thanks, Pop. You gave me the skin condition, not the other stuff.
We got the creative genes.
I think I probably got that from my mom.
Well, we got it from somebody.
We got it from somebody, but.
Probably, I think so. That sounds about right.
Long story short, derailing. Yeah, great hair.
Great hair. Great man, great hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, today's episode we're going to be covering projects and jobs that we've quit. Just why we've done it.
Yeah.
What was the scenario and then or the situation, and then just kind of going over some just some general statistics and facts that I looked up, kind of revolving around the subject today, which is quitting, and jobs being, I guess the job market in essence of what we're dealing with right now. Because it was interesting to me to look some of those things up because I wasn't completely educated on how things were. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of a nice way to get reacquainted with what's going on. And then just also it's connected with what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So boom. But yeah, I can go first. I'm just going to beat these over the head. I haven't quit. I really haven't quit as many jobs as either I would assume I've done or probably others would have assumed, because who knows what kind of impression I give off. But I quit FedEx. So I worked at FedEx Ground when I was like right out of high school.
Okay.
I worked at the place right out in Milpitas. Like a bunch of people worked there, but I didn't work with them.
Which one? By like where the old fries used to be?
Pretty close, yeah. I think,
Brokaw? And
yeah.
Okay,
I think it was off Brokaw and 680 kind of.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So
880 or 680.
I think it was closer, the one I worked at was closer to 680.
Okay.
Because it was the FedEx, which was it was Brokaw, I think.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Fucking slave ship. That place, you're just pulling boxes off trucks, getting paid like bullshit. And then the weird thing is they never gave you like breaks, so I ended up getting hella settlement checks over the years, but they were bad about giving breaks. And so I just no-showed one day. And I've never done that to any other job.
Mm-hmm.
That's not true. I think both the jobs I'm going to talk about today were 2 of the 3 were no-call, no-shows, which is absolutely, I don't recommend doing it. Unless you were like me and completely despised the workplace you were at. Then I say go for it. But yeah, I just straight up, I think it was funny. I had a burner phone. So I was on my dad's plan at the time. I just stopped showing up. And I had a burner phone for like a month.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a prepaid, so... Yeah. I don't know why I did that, but then like I got my phone fixed with my dad, and then I got my phone connected again, and I had like a month's worth of voicemails from my old boss.
After a month,
I could not believe he would call me weekly saying, "Hey," and dude, here's the thing: I was 18. Like I'd like to think of myself as a hardworking individual when I put my mind to it.
Yeah.
When I'm like, what's the word? Committed.
Yeah.
Dude, he was calling me like I was his best worker. For like 20 years.
Really?
I'm like, you must have fucked over so many people and like have no one to help you. Because I was definitely not the best worker.
Yeah.
I mean, if you put me in a lineup of people, you wouldn't have been like, oh, cool. That guy could do things.
Yeah.
No, not at all. So I was just like, okay. So I just was laughing because I'm like, this is so like good for my psyche. But I'm like
the kind of crap? The ego's amazing right now.
It also confirmed my decision.
Yeah.
I'm like, great. This was exactly what I should have done.
Yeah.
My other job that I walked off was Kirby vacuums.
Yeah, I used to have a Kirby.
Oh man, they're great vacuums.
Yeah,
they're also like what, $1,200.
Yeah, and to get anything replaced just sucks because you have to get. Well, I guess now you can get it online. But back in the day, I had to go to like the Kirby store down in like Stephen Creek to get like the bag or like the bands or something.
Yeah,
like
and
that.
that's just not cheap, probably.
No, it wasn't because it's like
it's a good vacuum though.
It's like the fucking Apple of vacuums.
Yeah, except if Apple weighed like 4 tons.
True,
dude.
True.
So like I worked a whole day at Kirby, which by the way is a long sales day because you like Cutco. You are going door to door, soliciting fucking vacuums that are $1,200, have payment plans, and they want you to sell them to old people because they have money.
Yeah, absolutely.
My whole problem with that was we were dealing with frail old women. And I'm like, I think at the time I was 22. Yeah, I'm like, I'm a 22-year-old man. Like, this thing's kind of gaudy and bulky even for my standards.
Yeah.
Like this 75-pound like Puerto Rican lady, she's gonna die.
Yeah,
it's gonna fall backwards with her on the stairs. There's no way. I'm like, how is she hauling this upstairs? Yeah. So it was crazy though. They're shark salespeople though, and they expect you to. Dude, my first day they wanted me to close. Like I did. They do the whole like clean a room for free, right? So you literally shampoo and clean someone's house, for free, but you do like a room. But if they're like convincing the people they're going to spend money, you'll clean more than a room. Yeah. Dude, so we cleaned like at least 2 rooms in this lady's house. And dude, it's my first day. I'm not a closer.
Yeah, you don't even know what the heck's going on.
Well, they're supposed to bring the salespeople with you.
Yeah.
So it was literally just me. She left like acting like, oh, I'm going to go check on so-and-so. She probably just went to go out and smoke a cigarette. Yeah. And she comes back in like 30 minutes later because I'm supposed to already be going over paperwork. Because mind you, this is my first day, but you have to go through a week of their training. Yeah. Which is going over the parts, how to do a showing of the product, a breakdown of it, and then going over the contract and selling. Yeah. But I'm like, dude, like sales is not something you can teach in a week. No. So
It's a skill.
I'm way too honest.
Yeah.
But like she should have definitely been back by the paperwork part.
Yeah.
Like to just close it out. So no, she has me do that. And I'm just like, it's just not working. I'm like, I'm tired. I want to go home. Like, I'm just over it. This old lady's like, she's been entertaining this thing for a couple hours, but I can tell it's just like, all right, you cleaned it.
Yeah.
Why are you still here?
Yeah.
And I wanted to leave. And she came back in and she kind of gave me like hella shit about it. She was just like, I don't understand. And it's just like, I don't really know what to say. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. You fucking left.
Yeah. Like
if you wanted to close the deal, which by the way, I'm sure even if I closed it, you guys wouldn't have gave me the commission.
Yeah. Because you're like new or whatever.
Like, it was just too sharky. I didn't enjoy the cultiness of it. Like I remember, like, first of all, you didn't make money. Like you made no hourly wage. All your money was based on your sales.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Dude.
So they were real sharky people because like that's why she got mad at me because it's like, I don't know, maybe she couldn't pay her rent that week now because I didn't close it. But then it's like also why put all your eggs in my basket?
Yeah, the new person.
So I was just like, this isn't for me. Like you guys are all fake, sharky little fake people that want to sell a $1,200 vacuum. I'm like, this is stupid. I don't want to do this. Buy fucking the Nazi Dyson shit and get it over with. Like, just succumb to fascism. I mean, we're halfway there. Why not just do it all?
Just do it.
You know?
Just commit.
I've been blabbing, but I got one more.
Yeah, go for it.
And it's going to be a quick one.
Sure.
Last but not least, probably my most notorious job that I've quit was USPS.
Mm-hmm.
I did call over the phone, though.
Good for you.
Unlike the other two.
Yeah.
I said, I'm just not going to come in. And my toxic manager said, oh, is it because of so-and-so? Because she just hated the other assistant manager. And I said, no, I just don't want to work there. I'm not a good fit. And I quit. But the main reason I quit that job was I was unhappy and I knew I was going to be unhappy because I liked the job. I hated the way it was managed and I hated management.
Yeah.
And I think I went over this on an episode before, but management and the workers are on different unions. So you're never seeing eye to eye and it's just always this battle between people. And it's just too much. So I was just like, I don't want to do a job where I finish 8 hours and then I got to go do half of 4 hours of someone else's job because they suck. Like that's communism. Like I did my part. I should be able to go home.
Yeah.
Like I held up my end of the deal. I shouldn't be tidying up all these loose ends.
Yeah. That's not my responsibility.
But that's how they view it. It's crazy. I don't recommend it for anyone. I think if you're going to go do a job, do Amazon. They probably pay more and whatever. I don't know. But anyway, fuck the post office. Fuck the post office, man. But yeah, I just, you got to do what you got to do. But it was that morning I was puking because it was such a toxic environment.
Yeah.
I literally had so much anxiety that I was throwing up that morning. And
I've been there before.
I was having an emotional breakdown.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. So I was just like, I've never felt that way before. So then I just quit. And I felt so good. Immediately after, I was like, I need to get a job.
Yeah.
And I got a job, and I think a day later, I got another job.
Nice.
I started 3 days later. I've been very good about
being constant with a job.
Being consistent with work.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, the next day I was already working. I was going back with my old job. And then 2 days after that, I found a new job. So I almost pretty much took no time off.
Nice.
I took that day off, and that was about it.
Yeah.
But that's just, it's just, I feel like that's responsible. Maybe it's not loyal to the post office, but, they're not loyal to anybody. So
yeah, I was just going to say that because that's something my dad told me once. He's like, hey, you need to, like, not be loyal to a specific place. You have to, like, be willing to, to jump ships to whatever it is that's more convenient for you and was fulfill you the most. So, like, that's one thing he always told me. He's like, yeah, like, don't be loyal to no company because these companies are not loyal to you. That's just their business, especially like big corporations and shit. I've had my share of jobs that I've quit. Gramerica. I used to work at Gramerica. I think I was there for like 2 seasons. The 3rd season, I came in and I'm like, I was expected to be like, I was expecting myself to be like a supervisor already or something.
Right.
And they're like, oh, we're gonna try you out for lead, Danny. Like, oh, maybe you'll be a lead. And I'm like, fuck this. So like, I think I went one day for training or like beginning of the season, and then I just never came back.
Yeah.
No call, no show. Just didn't show up the next week or the following week. Done. And I was like 16, 17, so who cares?
Yeah.
And then my next job after that was for I used to work for Cost Plus for Market.
Oh, okay.
And I was there for like 2-3 years. And I was just busting my ass for them, dude. Like, you know, working through my breaks. Cause, you know, you see the like people needing help and you know you're short staff. It's always fucking short staff. So I'm like I wouldn't take my break, or rather than taking like a 15, I'll take like a 5, just go out and have like a cigarette or something, then come back. And I remember like I wasn't happy. I felt like I wasn't getting paid what I should have been getting paid. And luckily I ended up working for Comcast. So I really didn't quit. I quit to get a new job. You know? And they knew. I'm like, okay, I got a new job. I'm done. And so they were whatever. So I left. Comcast I got let go because they moved the call center to like somewhere else. So I got let go, whatever. But the job where like I walked out was another one was when I was working for Edible Arrangements. Yeah, I was doing delivery when I was in, you know, my last year of college. I was doing delivery, and then when I was working towards my teaching credential, I was still doing it. And I told him like, hey, you know, teaching credential is going to be important. They're super lenient with like my work hours and stuff like that. They were decent people. It was a cool job, but I remember it was on a Sunday, and I remember I told him, I'm like, hey, I have to do this group meeting thing I think it was at 4. And granted, I should have been done like on Sundays. I was usually done by 2 making deliveries.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, hey, just FYI, like I need to be out of here by like 3:30 the latest. Like, oh yeah, well, I'm pretty sure it's not gonna happen, but whatever. Well, I was working at the one in downtown, and somebody called out sick from Milpitas. So I had to do the Milpita delivery, which was all the way to like, it'll range all the way up to like Fremont and down on the East Bay. And then like the person in Willow Glen and Evergreen also called out sick. So now they wanted me to do deliveries also like as far down as like Gilroy.
Damn. That's a big beat.
Yeah. So it was a lot of delivering. And I'm like, hey, I need to like, y'all need to like call another store also and give me help, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm literally driving from Gilroy all the way up to like Fremont, you know, Hayward, and then have to come back. I'm like, and of course it was like a busy ass day. I'm like, hey, can you like not do any more deliveries for today? You know, cause like I need to get out of here. And I remember it was like 2:00, like 5 more orders came in that they needed to make. And so it was going to take at least 40 minutes to make those. And then like another hour. I was going to be late for 4:00. And I told him like, hey, you know what? I quit. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, I quit. I got to go. Like, I'm not going to like be late for something for my career because y'all want to make like money. Like I told y'all I need to get out of here on time. I told you like how important it is. Like I quit and I just walked out.
Yeah.
And I walked out. Got my last paycheck like the next day. They're like, oh, if you ever need thank you, you know, Danny, if you ever need anything. Like I'm like, all right. And I just walked out, and that's like the first time I quit without having like a backup plan.
Yeah, it's kind of nerve wracking.
Yeah, it really is. It's mid-20s. It was me. Well, no, I take that back because at the time I think I was also teaching already, like an after school program. I was in elementary school and stuff, so I finished my teaching credential program. My sister landed me a job for Heavenly Greens, who does the artificial turf, and that was a cool gig. I'm still employed by them, but you know, because of like the last year and a half because of COVID and stuff, I was doing the trade shows where I'll go and like talk about the product. Super chill.
Yeah.
Not getting paid commission. It was just like hourly, just talk about the program. I wasn't trying to sell anything, which is, I mean, yeah, I'll sell the product, but it's like, oh, let me sign you up here. Let me, you know, listen.
Right.
It wasn't anything like that. It was freaking chill, and people love that. And I loved it because I don't like being pushy, sales, shark kind of person.
Me neither.
so yeah, like I did that for a couple of months, and then I started teaching right after. So, and yeah, I mean, I jumped from one school to the other because I felt like I wasn't being valued from one school, and I changed to my current position, which I really enjoy my current job. I really enjoyed where how I present myself, what I'm doing, the community. I feel valued by the school.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where we kind of agree upon when we like to feel valued. We like to feel like people actually give a shit and that you're being heard, you know? Like, dude, right after we finish recording this, I'm actually going to drive down to Sunnyvale for a Christmas, whatever, holiday thing. So that's going to happen, and that's going to be, I'm sure it's going to be awesome. School's paying for like everything, of course.
Oh, nice. Well, that's today.
Yeah, it's today. And they they take care of us well. By all means, I'm not trying to promote, oh yeah, come work at my school, but it just feels great to feel valued. Like that you're putting in the work, that people are seeing your work, that you're seeing the effort you're putting, and they're like, okay, this is what we can do. I really enjoy that. Not to shit on any other of my teaching positions or wherever I work, but for the first time in a long time, I was like, okay, I feel valued. And I think when you're talking about your story about like leaving Kirby, leaving FedEx and like USPS, it's like you just didn't feel like they give a fuck about you. You're just another number and not a human.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And that's cool because it's like really rewarding to be part of a meaningful position like a teacher,
Yeah.
Or it can be. If you want it to be,
It absolutely is.
Some fucking deadbeats, I'm sure.
No, in our school it absolutely is. It's because we're not a union, unfortunately. But that means that you always have to like grow and be on top of it. It's not like you're gonna get paid just for being there. But I definitely do. It is a rewarding job. It is great when people acknowledge your success and what you're doing and the culture you're creating at school. And of course, like having students come up to you and trusting you with certain things. Like in this past year, in this school year, which is, we started in August, like I had several students already come up to me, confess like some secrets, their mental health, questions sexuality.
Do they know you do a podcast though, kind of about it?
I kind of don't promote it.
No, I figured. But,
yeah, I don't promote.
They figure kids are fucking clever.
Well, I have like in my computer, I have like mental wellness matters and all this shit. And of course I tell them, I'm open. I tell them that, you know what, first day of school, I'm like, hey, I suffer through depression, anxiety, and stress. So I know if you see me scratching my arm, please stop me, because that's just me being stressed out. It may not look like a big deal, but it's like a form of self-harm.
Yeah.
I'm also try to stop me. There's going to be days where I'm going to come in and I'm just not going to feel it. And I need y'all to like be in your, like, have some self-control, because I'm going through it. Just like you have days where you just don't want to do anything. You feel like something's going on. I'm going to have those days. So it's those mutual understanding.
That's good though, because it kind of sets the groundwork for them to be a little more understanding.
Yeah, and then also them having that trust, having that related.
Yeah, you're not just an authority figure.
Yeah, having them relate. So I had a couple of students, come up to me like, hey, the reason I'm feeling this way is because this is going on, or this kind of hit home because of this or that. God knows how many times I had a student like have a panic attack, and I pull him aside. I'm like, all right, let's breathe together. I'm like, all right, breathe.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah, I had one who like, she raised her hand. She's like, Miss Rancourt, first period. She's like, I think I'm having a panic attack. I'm like, let's go outside. I'm all 5 minutes, get your, use your phones. Fuck it. I don't care. I literally walked out for like 5-10 minutes doing this breathing exercise with this girl. I'm like, hey, okay, breathe in, hold it. I'm okay. I'm all right. What's going on? I'm like, oh, tell me the situation. I'm like, okay, you go for a lap. You take your time. Whenever you're ready, come back in. You're more than welcome to come in. You can sit anywhere you want, wherever you feel comfortable. But
yeah,
it is very like, it feels good, and it feels good that that they have that trust in me, and they know that I give a shit about them.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I have I mean, I tell my students, and I share this with you. I tell my students I hate them all equally.
Right.
You know, because I do.
And we kind of shared that post on Instagram.
Yeah, I shared that post. I'll refer to that post. But right on top of it is something that I tell them, not every week, but like every once in a while. I'll be like, hey, honestly, like we joke around a lot here, you know. I flip you all off. I say, like, I think I told some kid yesterday, like, Roger, get your fucking ass back inside. You know, like I was like cursing at the kids and shit. I'm like, but hey, in all honesty, like all BS aside, like I truly care about y'all. And if nobody has told you this week or today, like I'm very proud of y'all and all the work you do. And sometimes those kids, like, they need to hear that sometimes.
Yeah. Like,
especially like the knucklehead screw up. And when they're in the door, like I'm about to release, I'm like, hey, dude, what's going on? I'm like, hey, thanks for stepping it up today, bro. Like, hey, way to go. And they might not care. They might not give a damn. Maybe they do. But at the end of the day, I'm like, sometimes they need to hear that we're acknowledging them trying.
Right.
And we just don't acknowledge the bad behavior.
Right. You got to acknowledge everything.
Absolutely.
And that's like, it's motivational. It's, and that's a good thing. Teaching is very similar to parenting in a lot of ways with the psychology of it, because it's like you can't always be critical, right? You got to be a little more. You got to reinforce the progress, and like showing that like you're seeing progress, because that's showing them that, because a lot of kids, and even not just kids, human beings. I mean, I still don't grow out of that. I need to hear like what you said. It's like words of affirmation, kind of like, like confirming that I'm doing something correct. Like, because I still feel this way, even when I was a kid, like that I'm just never doing it right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's just like, it's nice when you hear someone that knows what they're doing say, no, good job. It's not perfect, but this is a starting point. You're really, it's going to get better if you keep trying. And sometimes you just need to hear that.
It's that imposter syndrome that we were talking about earlier.
Oh yeah.
Like
that's definitely
toxic. like I want to know that I deserve what I'm doing or where I'm at right now in my career, because I deserve it, because you acknowledge my hard work and you acknowledge that I'm capable of doing that. Not because, I want to feel like, you just got this job because you're friends with so-and-so, or
right,
because you're doing this or that. And I think for me, that's very important for myself, that I'm capable, I'm pushing myself, and that you're acknowledging that. And it goes back to like the whole theme about this, like as a manager, I'm not a manager, but I know you are, your management team. Like sometimes we focus so much on the bad things on workers that we don't acknowledge that, hey, we see you putting that extra hour of work, or that you're hustling, you're doing this.
Yeah.
And I think that's always important, especially for the worker. You need to hear that, like, I'm busting my ass, but you also acknowledge I'm busting my ass, and that,
but we're benefiting, exactly, like the project or the team or the company's benefiting from that.
Exactly.
Like it should be, and it's funny because I have to be that sounding bell for my owners, because just like most owners, they think about their side of the business, not the business and the morale and all that stuff that needs to be taken just as highly as profits. Because if you don't have good morale, your profits will start dwindling.
Yeah,
because your workforce is going to be gone.
If your workforce doesn't give a shit about your product, then it's going to be all shit. Period.
I mean, it's a circle of trust, right?
Yeah,
because if you don't have good employees, they're not going to respect you. They're not going to work hard.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to reflect on your retail reputation with your customers, because they're not going to put out good customer service. Why would they? To the people ordering. By the way, the people in the weed industry, I will say this. Boo on you for consumers. You are probably the worst consumers I've ever I've worked retail. We've worked retail.
Yeah, we worked retail.
You said you work Cost Plus World Market. Dude, you deal with crazy people in there.
Especially during this time of the season.
I worked at Michael's before.
Oh, that's right. You did.
That might have been a no call, no show as well. It was so meaningless it didn't even make the list, everybody. And I love going into that store as a non-person working there. It's a great store.
Bro.
It's a great store, but fuck working there.
Can we talk about, why is it like Michael's, and there's this new store by the airport in San Jose, right?
Is it Hobby Lobby or something?
No, but I love Hobby Lobbies, except that they don't open on Sundays.
Because they are Christian.
Yeah, and I don't appreciate you throwing all that Christian shit in my face.
It's like you and Chick-fil-A. Stop that shit.
Yeah, stop that. Please.
We need football crafts and chicken.
Yes, please. But there's this store where it used to be a Lowe's, right? You know where the In-N-Out is on Newhall and like right next to the airport.
Oh yeah, in Santa Clara.
Yeah, in Santa Clara. Yeah. So it used to be like a Home Depot or like a Lowe's or something, and now it's called At Home. It's like a fucking huge warehouse of like home stuff.
Kind of like a World Market, right? But with clothes.
No clothes.
Oh.
No, it's strictly all for like home stuff. It's all home decorations. It's like it's just a home decoration store. No craft or nothing, just home decorations, and it's like Costco size freaking home decorations. Bro, tell me why I get excited when I go there.
Is it kind of like a Living Spaces vibe?
Yeah, except no furniture. Well, like it's outdoor furniture like and stuff like that.
Decor.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you want to,
there's probably some cool swag. Not swag, that's not the right word. Why am I trying to be hip?
Yeah.
I think I'm trying to bring back a hip crowd because I know that this is such an old person
subject.
This is
such an old person
it's relatable because I also enjoy it. Like, look, we can't always be cool. Like,
listen,
look at all the guitars and all the shit we like. But look, dude, we're adults and we do adult things.
We're way past. Look at the receipts. We used to be cool when we were in our younger in the 20s. We're still fucking cool. But we used to do way cooler shit, like going to metal shows and mosh and like stage dive. And
I was just telling Steph about how I wish I could fucking. It was such a weird thing. It was such a high thing to say, which is accurate. But I was like, I really wish I could bring you and the boys to a memory of me at the cave, like, and how crazy those shows were.
Oh my god, they're so amazing,
cool to
dude.
bring like a VR. Experience and watching the FSU dude throw a chair at someone's head, and I could be like, "Hey, son, see, this is what can happen to you if you go to a metal show at a church,
dude." Like, you had to live it. Like, I wish, if I can show that to my kid, like the students or my partners, or whatever.
Even Juan went to a show or two.
Juan almost got into a fight. My brother
backed me up.
Yeah, during Sympathy Ends.
Yeah,
some fool wanted to like.
I remember the guy's name too,
who tried to like come up on you or something.
Yeah, I think he was homies. I think he was in the 3 Feet crew, but he wasn't like. I think he was a hang around with the 3 Feet crew. I don't think he was an official.
Mm-hmm.
But I got no loyalty with any fucking crew, so I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But
the only crew I have loyalty to is like our homies, like Tom and Curfew. That's the only crew, and I don't even know what their name of the crew is, but that's my crew.
We don't even have a name, and that's the beauty of it because it's a melting pot of people.
Yeah, but every time I go to a metal show or hardcore show, if I see him there, I'm like, oh great, I know I'm gonna get beat up, and that's gonna be the guy who beat me up.
Yeah, like if Aaron and Curfew were there,
oh god, game over.
And if Aaron, Curfew, and
Joel,
Kyle.
Oh yeah. Oh, Kyle's my boy, though.
Me
dude.
too.
Kyle's my boy.
Kyle's
my fucking boy.
Kyle's a secret weapon. Kyle's one of those guys we are thankful he loves you because you don't want him to hate you.
Dude, I
remember wasn't his nickname Kyle Fights Everyone?
Yeah, it really is. Wasn't there a song about him?
I think so.
I think there's a song about him.
I need to do some homework and we need to fucking play.
But I remember like I was seeing that Tsunami show on like in the house party.
Oh yeah.
And like 5-10 seconds into it, I see Aaron
with his fucking public works hat on.
Yeah, and then I see Kyle just
oh yeah, dude.
just like walking down the line, and I'm like, holy shit, those are my friends, and I didn't realize how violent they were.
And you're like, holy shit, this was a week ago.
Yeah, and so Kyle, I just recently like really got close to him, but like friends of friends. So it wasn't until I'm like, hey, what's up, dude? I'm Danny. He's like, oh yeah, what's up? I know who you are. We got a hug. Next thing you know, like this dude's like beating up somebody because he almost punched me at a fucking terror show,
Yeah.
Um,
He's into the metal though.
Yeah.
I remember when I went to one of Aaron's birthday parties a couple years ago, me and him were talking about Power Trip and fucking when Riley was still alive.
Rest in peace, bro.
Yeah. R.I.P. We were talking about going to the Berkeley show.
Yeah.
Which I didn't get. I think it was Power Trip and Black Dahlia Murder.
Oh, nice.
On the same bill.
That fucking show.
That would have been a great show to go to.
Fuck, dude.
It was at that Greek theater.
The Greek theater or the UC theater?
UC theater.
It's not bad. I've been there.
I've never been there.
I just went a couple of weeks ago to see Thrice. Really cool place.
It's an indoor venue.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, because I know the Greek is the outdoor
one,
which is a really good venue.
Yeah, it's really nice.
That's nice.
Parking sucks, but it's really nice.
Oh, because parking is absolutely terrible.
Because it's
in the Berkeley Hills.
Yeah, it's in Berkeley Hills where
we got to pay. You basically, when we went there, we had to pay in a garage and walk like a quarter mile.
We parked like on the hill. There's like a student parking lot thingy.
Oh, that's cool.
Pay like $10 for like after 6 o'clock or something.
Yeah.
And then but with the UC theater one, like there's a parking garage on the street right behind it, so you just like literally go around the corner, and I think it was like same like $5 or $10 for like after 6 o'clock kind of thing. It wasn't bad at all. The only thing that sucks is like it's one of those parking garages that close like at midnight, so you gotta get your fucking car out of there by midnight.
I fucking hate that.
I hate that so much, dude.
And it's like, dude, this is a hippie city. Like, when did hippies become so strict on time?
Yeah,
and
it's just like. It's just like, oh shit, is the show gonna be over? Oh shit,
Well, dude, it just like you don't have time. Basically, it's Berkeley's way of saying get the fuck out of our city.
Yeah,
because most places are what 2, 3 a.m.
2, 3. Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we'll let you get a late night bite. Berkeley's like, get the fuck out of our city,
please. Yeah,
Berkeley's
come back now.
There's no late night bite for you guys.
No,
you're going home. But that's all rich people up in that area.
Yeah.
So it's got to be their little.
Like the way to like, we just want some peace and quiet.
All gated houses.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, if I can go back and just show him like the cave and like heavy Lolo singing, and then like at the last 30 seconds of my hand where the whole fucking like 200 people at this place are climbing on top of each other, screaming, oh shit, fuck, you know? Yeah. And then you have like 20 or 30 motherfuckers just swinging their arms right behind you. Yeah. And there's a fucking chair being thrown, and there's a motherfucker with a knife, like doing windmills in the mosh pit with a fucking knife. Like, oh God, I love it.
I know. I get goosebumps right now.
Oh, and then you have a fucker like just climbs on top, and you're like, some dude just stomp on your head.
Just fucking heel in the neck. Dude.
Oh,
so fantastic. The other thing that was funny that I thought about that I said out loud to Steph, because not everything's internally in my head.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what was funny too, babe? Like we were getting dropped off at a church.
Yeah.
So most parents would be like, this is a nice event to take little Oswald to for his nice little Friday night.
Yeah, yeah.
Little Friday night Sabbath. Maybe he'll learn a lot about the Lord. He'll start taking on more tasks around the house. Yeah. Little did they know people were drinking in the parking lot, doing drugs, and going into shows and getting their shit kicked out of them.
Yeah, bro.
It was the Warriors. It was Warriors shit out there. Everyone had little groups and clans.
Oh, absolutely. There was like crews going down and shit.
Didn't it kind of remind you of like a 1950s movie with like all the greaser,
the Panthers and the daggers,
like like the fucking West Side Story.
Yeah, dude. I remember this one time. It was a Sunday show, so it was like an early one, it was like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. It was just dumb,
but those were fun.
They were fun. We had who was playing. They went on to be a pretty well-established band. They're called As City Burns. I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah.
They were playing. Red Fall was going to close the show, and then I was hanging out with my buddies at Keeping Distance. They're from a local band from Hollister. So we're hanging out in the van with Keeping Distance. We were freaking drinking, hella joints going around. You know, this is like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, on a Sunday afternoon, in the parking lot in the Lord Day. Behind the Lord's house.
Yep.
And I can't remember if I was taking a hit out of if I was taking a hit out of like a pipe, or if I was like legit downing the fucking beer in the beer bong. But it was some illegal substance shit going on.
Yeah.
Because we were like, what, 19?
Oh yeah, so this was Prop 215. It's definitely illegal to have weed.
Yeah, no, we were like 18, 19, super skinny jeans, kind of long hair, cigarettes. It was just
what I said to Steph was every guy had the John and Kate +8 haircut.
Oh yeah,
the mom.
Oh yeah,
the mom bob.
Absolutely. Yeah. My hair, since it was always kind of thick, it was in the back. I will kind of like mousse it up, but this was fucking flat iron all the time, and I used to go. It was this way. No,
everyone kind of had anime hair.
Absolutely. Yeah. It was shit.
I couldn't. And see, I wasn't one of the cool ones. I just had my long, goofy hair.
But that was cool.
Yeah,
everybody was like the long hair. And days where I couldn't like do my hair, I'll slap on the beanie, but with the little bane sticking out.
The little brim.
Oh, dude, those
one of those. I think you had one of those.
I had like a separate, like the beanie with the brim.
Right.
Yeah, and then
no one wears that shit anymore.
I know.
Huh? I was thinking about that like yesterday.
Yeah, I used to fucking rock those all the time, dude. And you know what? I rocked the shit out of them.
You did, and I had another coworker that wore one, and I was thinking about him too, and I was like, I wonder if that guy still wears them. Yeah. I don't think so.
I don't even think they make them no more. But it was so cool. It was such a cool hat. And then I used to wear the beanie with the I had another one that had like it'll cover your ears and had like the
like the ears.
Yeah, the ear ones.
Kind of like the hunting one.
And then like that hat that everybody fucking talk shit about, like the newsboy hat. I used to wear those
like the scout hat.
Yeah,
is that what they're like the one Beltran used to wear. Like
the paperboy hat,
an old army kind of hat.
No, but I used to have that one too. I remember I had a black one with like a pin because it was all. I used to rock that one, but I'm talking about like the old paperboys, like grandfather ones, like with the gray checker.
Like a trucker hat?
No, but I did have trucker hats also.
Get Ed Hardy.
I'll show you. I'll show you the hat.
I'm just totally not. I'm sorry, I'm not lining up with you right now.
Hold on, bro. We're gonna figure this out.
We're gonna do this.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
Sheila, this should be something you pulled up.
Oh God.
Having us do the work. Why are you here? It just blows my mind that you're on the payroll. I just don't understand.
Those hats right there.
Oh, like a Peaky Blinder hat.
Yeah, there you
go. Like a fucking kangaroo hat.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're called. Like the LL Cool J kangaroo.
Yeah, Sam L. I definitely had this one, the ones in Shamrock. I definitely
you put razor blades in them too, didn't you? Yeah.
I definitely used to rock that with like
razor blade suitcase.
With like a freaking like the Chariot black shirt. It'll be like super tight jeans Chariot shirt and then like that hat.
That's a cool hat. It's very Brian Johnson of AC/DC.
A lot of people talk shit about it nowadays, but you know what? I was rocking it since I was like 20.
Those people, what are they doing right now?
Making memes and talking shit. They'll probably have a podcast. Anyways,
yeah, that's very true. They probably do have a podcast. So listen to ours.
I can't remember if I was like, or if I was like jogging, but a car pulls up and it's a parent. And they're like, excuse me. We're like, oh shit. Yeah. We're like, hide the drugs. Like, do you know where the cave is? And like, six freaking emo, six or seven emo Mexicans. We're all like,
sir and ma'am.
We're like, over there. We point to like that building, like, yeah, is that where the show's gonna be? And we're like, yeah, we're playing there.
We'll be in 15.
We go up for second.
It's your turn.
Yeah. And as they drove away, we're like, that parent's not dropping off the kid.
But or they are, and that kid's gonna buy like 4 shirts from your band.
Dude, you know what's funny though?
Those parents would probably give the kid like $50.
I remember going to the cave and not even going inside the show. It was just hanging out outside.
I think there was 1 or 2 times I may have done that, and it wasn't because I didn't have the money either. It was, and sometimes it was capacity, so they wouldn't let people in. I think.
Yeah.
Because they cared that much. They cared more about the cave capacity than they did at Travis Scott in Houston at Astroworld.
Wow, that's true.
Think about that.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, we were above it.
They were above it, and it was a bootleg. I mean, I don't want to say it like that, but it was a bootleg production company putting all this shit together.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was very, like, indie, you know? And,
yeah.
And it's like, still, they took the time to make sure that people weren't going to die. I mean, when you went in there, okay, let me rephrase that. You could still die. But it wasn't going to be because you're getting squeezed to death.
No.
It was because maybe you were getting an object thrown at your head.
Yeah.
Or you got stabbed in a mosh pit. Yeah, I mean, but that's kind of the risk you take, because let's be honest too. We're talking about this mayhem like it was unavoidable. That's not true.
No,
it was avoidable, because most of all, like, I'm talking about chairs flying. All those chairs were getting thrown into the pit with the violent people. Mm-hmm. So for the most part, you could easily go in there peaceful and walk out unscathed.
Absolutely.
But if you want to join the mayhem, you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Yeah,
and that's part of the fun.
It was a little bit dangerous because it was so like do it yourself, so underground. It was so naughty.
And you knew. And the scariest thing about it all was we knew if we got fucked up, we'd be in so much trouble.
Oh, 100%.
But that also made it more fun.
Bro, I wish we can go back now. Like
we just do an episode where we flash back.
Yeah, I just want to go back and just like hear the audio production because I'm pretty sure it was so shitty in there. Like the audio production, the acoustics.
We'll see
what kind of shit were being said, and oh god, I miss
it. I want to do the same. I want to go back to that. I want to go back to like
Makla,
Ozfest.
Yeah,
I want to go back to that Sounds that year. I think we all ran into each other.
We were freaking gone that year. But yeah, I remember.
Was that the year? Okay, so the year we met up at Sounds, was that the year that Norma Jean was there?
No, I think when we met up, it was The Devil Wears Prada, King Diamond, Slayer.
Okay, so it wasn't that Sounds with Lamb of God?
No. I would have been.
Wait, did we meet up at the one that was at the Sounds Day State Event Center?
I think that's the one. Well, we went to that one. That was the Taste of Chaos that we went to.
Oh no, but there was a Sounds of the Underground, but it was the year Amon Amarth played.
Oh no,
and that was at the event center.
No, it wasn't that one.
Well, we went to one. Maybe we met at Mayhem or something.
It was definitely like a Mayhem. I don't know. Those were so many shows. We've been to so many shows. It's ridiculous.
I want to go to more.
I really miss. I miss the Taste of Chaos. I think that was a really cool show. The first two with like, especially when we went with like SLA Dying and like Atreyu.
Because I went to I think that was the first one.
Deftones was there also.
Yeah, Deftones. The second one I really liked because that was Kill Switch.
Mm-hmm. The first one was Kill Switch, right? It was it was MCR, The Used, Kill Switch.
Oh no, you're right.
Seocean.
No, you're right. That was the first one, and the second one was Atreyu and all that. Huh?
Yeah, Atreyu.
That makes more sense because
Deftones, Thrice.
I went to the first one with Evan and John Neves and Michael. In Marysville, because that was the one my mom and grandma drove us to.
Okay.
And then, and the second one was with you and Aaron and Ryan and Carla, I think.
No, Hollywood.
Or Hollywood and Ryan and Carla. Right?
Yeah, because I remember we have the picture of us three, of me, you, and Aaron.
And then you're right.
And Hollywood
was
took
there
a picture. Yeah. And I remember Ryan went and Carla went because Carla used to love Deftones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Jacqueline probably was there for sure.
Yep, pretty sure. Is that also when Dredge also played?
I believe so because I remember Ryan talking so much shit about them because I believe Carla loved them.
Yeah.
And I think he used to fucking just rip on Dredge.
Yeah, I used to love Dredge.
But I think he made fun of the way the singer sang or something.
Yeah, I just remember.
That was always his thing.
I just remember the drummer playing with one hand and playing the piano at the same time. And then at the end, like when the show was over, like he was just like playing by himself on stage with like everything was like cut off and he just kept on going with a beat. And
that's pretty cool. I didn't know him enough to hate on him.
Yeah.
But I just enjoyed how much he sometimes gave her shit.
Because of that.
Because it's funny.
Yeah, it is.
It's funny when the boyfriend makes fun of the girlfriend.
Yeah.
Even if I disagree, I enjoy the banter.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? You should give her shit a little bit.
Yeah.
Because they get a little too cocky sometimes.
Yeah. No, Dredge, that was a fun show. That was a fun show. And we ended up just hanging out at Hollywood's after and just getting drunk.
Which was a normal event.
Yeah.
I mean, that was countless Fridays for me in high school. I would be spending the night, as I told the parents. Look at me now, Mom and Dad.
Look at us. We made it. Moving on.
Moving right along. We're just going to go over some of the statistics I pulled up. I thought some of them are interesting. You can decide. So we talked about quitting our jobs and all this stuff. So this is going to be more of what's going on now. So 12.7 million people quit their jobs in the months of July through September of this year.
Okay.
But the unemployment rate is at a national historic low at 4.6.
Wow.
That's interesting statistic.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you would think the unemployment rate would be much higher with all those people quitting. Right?
But also you got to realize how many new jobs have been created during that time.
That's true.
And I read this article a long time ago. I wish I can pull it up, but I read of course they're bagging capitalism, but they're saying in order for capitalism to work, the unemployment rate needs to be in a certain amount. So that way, there's always people like trying, to apply for works. Unfortunately, right now, well, I wouldn't say unfortunately, but since the unemployment rate is so low, the demand for jobs are now so high. So there's this is why people are putting up their funny jokes. Oh, no one wants to work, so we're closing early. It's not that. It's just that people are finding better jobs and they don't want to go work for a shitty ass place.
Exactly.
So
that's kind of what we were talking about.
Yeah, we have to talk about. So yeah, it's cool that unemployment rate is low, but from a business perspective, that sucks because that means a lot of people are not applying. So you do not have the choice of I'm just going to fire somebody because somebody else is going to step in. Because right now, a lot of people are not ready to step in because they're comfortable where they are right now.
But see, what that's going to do, and that's true, but what that's going to do is that's going to force a lot of these places to just make a better working environment.
Yeah, which is amazing.
They're going to have to suck up the cost, reinvest in making a better working environment so you can draw better skilled people to want to work there, because compensation and workplace environment are the two main things for a good employee. Mm-hmm. And they're going to value more than probably anything. And if you can't do that for either of those things, then you're not going to retain good people.
Yeah.
So
it's great for us.
Yeah.
But from a business perspective, but we're not business.
But no, and I mean I am, but I'm not, right? Yeah. I'm looking out for my interests.
Absolutely, right? That's the whole point.
That's capitalism.
That's capitalism.
Which I love about capitalism. It's competitive. It's not always fair, but here's the thing: life's not fair. Communism doesn't work. You can't. It's not appreciated. That's why we hate jobs. That's why I hated the post office, because no matter how hard you worked and no matter how early you were done, they expected you to help other people then.
Yeah.
And then you were late at doing their job. And I'm like, no. I'm never late. I'm working extra right now.
I remember working at a job. I remember working the job. We finished everything we had to do 2 hours before. Mm-hmm. So we're getting ready to take off. So the boss comes in, the owner of the company comes in. He's like, whoa, what are you guys? We're like, we're done. He's like, well, let's go do something else, blah, blah, blah. He's like, so let's go do something. I'm like, well, we're done with today's whatever. And he goes, I don't care. I have you scheduled until 4:00. Well, it doesn't matter. We're like, and just left a bad taste. Okay, cool. You have a schedule until 4, but we're done already. So what, you want us to just sit around for 2 hours and just wait?
See, that's weird because it's you're wasting money too.
Yeah.
He's paying you guys to do nothing when he could have just saved, made more money by paying you less to get
and then,
the same shit
it's just go wash the truck or go do this or go.
Okay, so it might have been prep work for the next day.
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense. But either way, it's you got to balance that out and reward your team and let them off early every once in a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's the incentive to do more work?
Yeah,
you're just gonna finish on time
because you have a schedule until I get it.
So next time I'll work slower. Thanks, boss.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's not good. So that's what I mean. This is kind of nice because it's ruling out and there's some more factoids that I found that were kind of proving kind of what we're saying and just how explaining that number and how it makes sense.
Go for it.
So 500,000, which some people could say, or just a half a million people. So 500,000 more unincorporated self-employed workers than there were at the start of the pandemic.
So there's more people doing self-employed.
So basically that's that I found out. Wow, I could have worded that way better. I speak English, write in English, but apparently not today. No, but basically that's just saying there's been a large flux of people working for themselves, saying, screw this. Take this job and shove it. I'm going to work for myself.
Yeah.
I'm on that road because I have my 9 to 5.
Yeah.
But I would much rather do what I love to do on a day-to-day. So maybe one day I'll be part of this. Not maybe. One day I will be part of this.
You'll be 45.
I need to manifest this.
You'll be the 9.45.
Exactly. I'll be part of that 9.44 million.
Yeah.
But... And some people will be like, well, how do you prove that? And then I was kind of as I was reading through this article, I'm like, that's a great statistic, but what does all this mean? And where's the information coming from? So don't worry, I'm also going to provide that.
Yeah.
But the number of new applications for federal tax ID numbers jumped 56% which is a fucking crazy
That is a
percentage,
big-
dude.
yeah.
You know, like, you know, when you're younger, you're like 56%. That's like an F. Who cares? When you realize what 56% means in a number thing,
Yeah, and the
or
huge number like
profits,
that. Yeah.
holy shit.
Yeah.
Between 2019 and 2021, 2/3 of those were for businesses expected to embody no one more than the founder. So literally
Working for themselves.
working for yourselves. I mean, that's a shit ton of people.
Yeah.
So I read this article and it made me feel good. It's like, okay, this is good. It's like reconfirming that like what I'm doing, what we're doing is like real. There's other people in our boat.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just like us, you know, that are struggling or hustling and trying to get things put through. It's like there's a lot of people, and that's part of the capitalism.
Yeah.
It's like the beauty of it is we have the opportunity. The negative is that so does everyone else. So you got to really fucking find a way to stand out and elevate yourself above the competition. But it's a starting point, and it's just more confirmation that it's not just a project, it's progress. And much like your students, you know, I feel like we also need to confirm with each other sometimes and be like, you know, good job on this. You know, it's a milestone for this project, let alone this podcast. And, you know, I feel like that helps us out too, because, you know, there's weeks where we do this and there's times where we're like tired from our work.
Yeah, from regular jobs.
Maybe I'm not in the mood, but that's why lately I've been trying to really push my production to go up with what our content is and what we're talking about. Just so it's not just like, oh, I'm driving up here, or what I should say is you're driving up here and we're going to read off a paper, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's still like very much more conversational, and we just throw some stuff in here because we got people out there taking notes, and I like that. But there's interesting things, and we need to, like, in a nutshell, we're just building. We want to build a better system, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the way you're teaching is teaching your kids to be more like aware of themselves, their feelings, and how they treat others, which is a really good hard skill to have, like, harnessed by the time you're 19 or 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Because then by the time they're 25, it's not going to be like them trying to find themselves. They have that groundwork to build off of already because you're, you know, helping them out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's also helping them understand what they should expect for their hard work moving forward, so they have better understanding of their self-worth.
Yeah,
Kind of
absolutely.
like how what we're both saying, like we valued our self-worth to a point with these projects or jobs, and we said, this is it. Like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
This is screwing up what I want to do.
Like having respect for yourself and stuff like that. Yeah.
And that's super important. You know, you got to have that self-worth, that respect.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I don't know. What did I write? Conclusion? Oh, okay. So two of those options. I don't even need to say that. But, yeah, so it's interesting. I guess one thing that was interesting, I thought, in September 2019, the online marketplace Etsy had 2.6 million active sellers. As of the same time this year, the number was 7.5 million. So in 2 years, it tripled.
It tripled as far as people selling stuff on Etsy.
That's crazy.
You know, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think for all we like to talk bad about, like the pandemic and lockdowns and stuff like that, I feel like for us, or for me, maybe I don't want to put words in your mouth. It helped me with my mental state. It helped me like just go with the motions and not have to hide it. I know my sister has some downtime also, so she's like, she started dapping with like different projects, different ideas, things she want to do, and now she's doing soaps, you know, and it started off like, oh, whatever. She has a shop in Etsy. People order shit from Etsy from her all the time.
That's awesome.
She was just at a pop-up show yesterday, you know, selling, and she likes it. I mean, she's not going to become a fucking millionaire of selling soaps.
Hey,
well, but you never know.
Never know.
But she enjoys doing them. She enjoys selling them and just getting like the feedback and stuff like that. So
that's amazing.
Yeah. So she's doing it, and I'm like, that's dope. Chato, Trump boy. Selling beats also, like, you know, doing this production thing. So I'm all for that. And you know what? Like, we're artists. We love art. And one of the things that always held me back from like talking to people about projects, people I like face to face about my projects or musical projects or showing them in music is because in a way, like, you're putting you're being vulnerable. You know, you're putting yourself out there, and sometimes you're not ready to hear criticism. You don't want to hear that your work that you're putting, your honest work and hard work you're putting is shit. Right. So for all these like 7.5 million people to put their honest work out there and just for the whole world to see, like, that's very brave of them.
That's really awesome. And I do feel the same way. Because it's not political. Here's the thing. You can make anything political, but nothing we've talked about today was political. And what you said wasn't. I agree. I think even if you consider the pandemic something that's so tragic and negative, you need to, and it's not like you should, it's you need to, as a human being, find ways to elevate yourself and build something from nothing, because there's times where life is just going to keep kicking you in the privates. Yeah. And it doesn't matter what privates you have. They're kicking you there, and it's going to hurt. So it's just, you got to find a way to enjoy that pain. No, I don't. I'm just kidding. But what I'm, you're in a bad spot. Like, you can't leave your house. Okay, so it's like, what did a lot of us do? We kind of reverted back to our hobbies or like our loves, our interests. And it's like, how can I do this, and maybe make a little money? Yeah. And I think that's a beautiful. And that's when it's like, hate to trump my patriotic flag here, but isn't it great to live in a country though where we can fucking do that? Like, you can't do this shit in fucking Istanbul. And that's not a country. No.
Well, it used to be called Constantinople, just in case you didn't know that.
I do remember now, though.
Yeah, you do remember
We're throwing some history shit out.
Yeah. I learned through a book. Or I learned through a song. That's a false. I learned it through Animaniacs.
I tried to sound... You know what, though? Thank you for doing that. Because as dumb as I was feeling, the fact that you corrected me with Animaniacs was just exactly what I needed. You're like, by the way, I know I'm a history teacher, but that shit came straight from Animaniacs.
I'm a bitcher.
Warner Brothers, bitch.
Yeah. What?
WB. What? That fucking frog ain't got shit on me.
Yeah. No, and yeah, it definitely, for us, it helped us go back to what we loved. Same thing with like the L3 podcast. It got back to what we were doing, what we love. Our bank, in this past year and a half, I've been more artistically productive than I have in a long time. Like creating music, playing music, testing things out that I never really thought I would test out. Doing tales, like really growing with the tales. Trying different things, trying different projects, and just like it really didn't give you an excuse. We really tried. And I think I told you this, like we're artists. We like doing arts. We like to do productive stuff. Yeah. We like to showcase what we do. And when I wasn't doing it because of time restrictions or anything, I felt like shit. This is like, it's part of my routine now. Like, I know I'm going to drive up here, for X amount of minutes. I enjoy the views. I'm here, we're doing this. And then like, it's part of my thing. And if like I don't do it or something, it feels weird. I skip a day or skip a week or something. It feels weird. It feels great to have a break, but at the same time, we're like, well,
I'm glad you feel that way, because I was starting to feel that way.
Really?
Yeah. Well, because we took some time off for Thanksgiving,
right?
Which was fine. You need time off, but I did feel that way, and that's why I was really glad that Thursday I knocked out like 2 months worth of production, because then I was like, we have no excuses. Yeah. Like, we're going to get this shit done, and there's no reason why I won't get done, because everything's already done. And I feel like that was the problem with the year, is like I was not finding the time to do things that I needed to do, and I was just making the time that I had, but I wasn't scheduling and being respectful about it. I was like, fuck, man, I'm done with my work. Okay, I got to hurry up and do this. And it's like, yeah, you got to do what you got to do sometimes, but you also... There's no excuse not to find the time. Yeah. And I've been better about my time management, It's time management, and it's also balancing. Yeah. You have to find a balance. Exactly. You need to find a balance, but there always is one.
Yeah.
Like, people want to say, I can't do it. You know what? It's just like what Yoda said. It's like, stop being a little bitch, Luke. Yeah. Because you're not going to be a Jedi with this shit. No. You might as well go hang out with your dad. Yeah. And just start crying about shit, because I'm tired of it.
Hey, he said, and I quote, "Do or do not There is no try.
That's right. And get the hell out of Dagobah if you don't like my fucking attitude.
Yeah.
Isn't that the swamp place?
Yeah, it was.
I did it right.
And I just, that whole part, Luke was just being a little,
dude, I know.
Just whining the whole time. I can't do this. That's impossible.
Well, man, you are your that's
up,
right
Luke.
there when you're like, you are your dad's son, you little whiny
you little
bitch.
whiny ass. Duh, it's impossible. I will never do this. I'm not strong. Shut the fuck up,
Would it have been hella
dude.
funny if it did like a Yoda flashback and he was just seeing fucking his dad and he was just like, motherfucker.
Yeah, I know.
Father like son.
Yeah.
Here we go, you little crybaby. I need to cut your hand off.
How can it say shut the fuck up in the Yoda?
He would do it. Yeah, he would do it the opposite. Like,
the fuck, shut up, you.
He'd be like, yeah, it would be the fuck shut up.
Oh.
Yeah. The fuck shut up. No. The upshut fuck?
Shut up the fuck up? No. It doesn't matter. You know.
That just sounds more like a new metal.
It does.
Shut up the fuck up. I don't know what I'm doing.
Sorry.
So,
never mind the last minute.
just, it was a brain fart. We all love you. Next week's going to be a really good one. We are going to be doing a Jingle All the Way holiday watch along.
I'm fucking excited, dude. We talked about it so many times.
We did. And it's real. Excited. It's happening. It's Sinbad and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, yeah. Hey, talking about Anakin Skywalker.
Oh, very good.
Oh,
yes, the young Anakin, which we'll throw out.
What's his name? It's not Hayden.
No, it's not Hayden. It was the one from episode 1.
Yeah, but there you go. Yeah, he was also whiny on that one.
Yeah, he was a little pod racer bitch.
You know what? Even in Jingle, we'll save it. Yeah, we'll save it.
But we're gonna have some Yuletide drinks. We're gonna have some Yuletide spirits to go with our spirits.
Yeah.
We're bringing some. We're both kind of keeping it hush hush on what beer we're bringing.
Yeah, we're gonna bring. I'm gonna bring one, for me and you,
right?
One type of beer, and then you're gonna bring another one,
and it'll just be a menagerie of nonsense.
And it's not gonna be the one that I talked about earlier. It's not gonna be the Trooper.
Nice.
I'll tell you that one. It's not gonna be a Trooper. I'm gonna bring you a completely different one.
Yeah, and I'm gonna bring something random too, and that that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a nice holiday watch along. Nothing committal. Look, guys, it's gonna be very similar to a slow day at school. It's like, let's put a movie on. Yeah. You can drool on your desk. Just don't hit each other and no
don't
loud
set the
farts.
Place on fire. Yeah, just some place. All you have to do is sit down and chill.
Yeah. And in this case, that's all you have to do as well. Yeah. So we're not going to ask you to write a list of your worst fucking things, but we do encourage, if you would like, send us your what you're excited about for Jingle All the Way. Also, maybe we can give a little special holiday shout out. I was thinking about doing cameos this year, but I just didn't know what to charge. So what I'm thinking, this might be the closest thing we can do. If you want a holiday shout out, email us at tfthpod@gmail.com. Grandmother, aunts, mother-in-laws, whatever you want. We can send messages.
Yeah.
This is why we're here, guys. We're here to brighten your day. And next week, we're going to be brightening our spirits and our alcohol levels and our blood, because we do this for you, but we got to give back to ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, this is a nice, entertaining holiday film.
Yeah. And y'all can always reach out to me on my Instagram at Danny B. Shank, or reach out to me on my Twitter, which is Danny E3P. So reach out.
Yeah, reach out, guys.
And touch me.
Reach out and touch Faith or Danny, whichever name he goes by. I think your stripper name was Faith, right?
It was.
Yeah.
There was a time. I also went by Gothica once.
God, I heard that movie sucked. Oh, Gothica once. He put on the fucking black lipstick for that.
I didn't get a good turn. I didn't get a good turn for that.
I would have paid.
Thank you.
Well, and I think our listeners would have too. And so tune in next week. We're going to have an awesome holiday watch along with, it's a 1996 classic, Jingle All the Way.
Fucking amazing movie.
It is available on Disney Plus. So those of you that want to do a watch along with us, we will do like a 10-second countdown.
Yeah.
And then that way you can sync it up. You got a little time to queue it up, and then we can awesomely have a nice little merry time together.
Mm-hmm.
But that will be next week. Until then, we will see you later. Be kind, be safe. And don't, just use your blinker. We always say that, but maybe also turn your headlights on when it's a little rainy.
Yeah. Hey, if it's fucking raining, don't push 80, 90. Like, please slow it down a little bit.
Yeah.
It's raining.
Yeah, I agree with that. But then also, don't drive 45.
Yeah.
I'm the dickhead that's going 78, even in the rain.
Me too.
But 80 to 90 is a little
I was
crazy.
pushing 80 today. the whole
But I
way.
mean, when it's stretched open, look, you got your lights on. Whatever, dude.
Hey, one last thing.
Yeah.
I know we wrapped this up, but one last thing. I cannot drive Capitol Expressway without a fucking smile.
Oh, is it empty now?
No, because of that comment that, by the way, is 45. I finally figured out the speed limit on Capitol
I go
Expressway
60,
is
yeah.
45. But yeah, the unlimited raw is like you push 55 and higher. You push 60 and higher.
If you're doing the speed limit, people will tailgate you.
Yeah, on Capitol Expressway. But I was laughing because I literally saw 45 miles per hour. I looked down doing 65 and I'm like, yeah,
you're going with traffic.
Yeah, I'm going with traffic. So I'm like,
there's still people going vroom.
Yeah, and I'm like, shit. There's just suggestions, dude.
They're just suggestions. They're merely estimated suggestions, guys. So take those serious, be safe, and we will see you next week.